Hi, everybody. We are back in 2022 with the Soul's Confidant. It's exciting. Happy New Year. I hope everyone had a lovely, lovely, lovely holidays. I am Mare, and I use they, she pronouns, and we're back with session 8. As we do with every single time we start a new game of Invisible Sun, we all say hi, who we are, who we're playing, and our character sentence. Who would like to go first as I switch Alex and April on the overlay? I will
go first.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name's Hamnah. I use any and all pronouns, and I'm a TTRPG performer. Today, I will be playing Roshni, who uses they, them pronouns. And Roshni is an itinerant ardent of the Order of Weavers who caught Fire's eye. I'm just going to popcorn this over to Val. Go.
The whole point is so that I wouldn't have to go next, but that's fine. Hi everyone, my name is Valiant, also known as Autostripper. I'm a Twitch variety streamer, as well as a TTRPG performer. Who would have guessed?
Surprise.
I am playing Ishmael, who uses he, they pronouns. Ishmael is an iconoclastic empath of the Order of Goetics who calls upon the serpent.
Okay, I'll go next. Hi everyone, my name's C. I use they them pronouns. I'm me. Hi. I'm playing Alecto today, who uses they them or ray rem pronouns, also known as the Curse Maker, who is an Eremitic Stoic apostate who converses with everything. Why was that so hard? April, try it better than me.
It's because we've been gone for a bit.
Hi, I'm April. You can find me everywhere as April Raygun. I'm also a TTRPG person. Surprise! And I am playing Lillian Yoon, a bizarre ardent of the Order of Goetic who splinters into fragments.
Go ahead. And I think we have Val doing our recap, not in character today.
What about Ellen?
Oh, I'm sorry, Alex. My brain is in 5 different places. Sorry.
Oh, big same. Anyway, hello everybody. My name is Alex, and today I'm playing Eleanor, who is an empathic maker who revels in beauty.
Now, Val.
Hello everyone, I'll be doing our recap session for the last time we played. Out of character this time, so sorry, you'll have to wait for Ishmael's voice for later. Well, we had several mental breakdowns occur in this episode. We began with Ishmael's breakdown that occurred at Meryl's bookstore, a sentient bookstore in the neighborhood where Ishmael lives. And while he was perusing documents and researching, he met his favorite person in the entirety of Saturnine, Yasser himself. And as all his interactions with Yasser go by, there's a lot of venom that was exchanged, despite Yasser coming to him out of concern, sincere concern. And after making an incredibly valid observation, Ishmael felt every emotion that he ever felt in the past 6 months catch up to him. On a more interesting note, we had the summoning also occur. The summoning of Alecto's friend, mentor, perhaps more. The ghost of her, summoned by Ishmael, alongside Teth, who has very strong feelings towards Alecto. And during the summoning, Alecto dressed well, not in their usual cape and bandages, but in pants and rolled up sleeves and shirt, and to Ishmael's delight. However, the rest of the summoning was not as delightful. It seems that Anya does not have all of the memories of her life. And while some answers were gotten, was it worth the cost? Only Alecto can answer that. Afterwards, we also have a scene between Roshni and Alecto, where they spoke so intimately, vulnerably, and perhaps a promise was exchanged. Something to brighten Roshni's world again, in exchange for a hand armor. But that is what friends do. Friends do not owe each other favors, do they? And of course, speaking of the illustrious Roshni, they also connected with someone that one would not consider that they would connect with. Taryn, their ex, their person with saturated history, and yet who do they go to extend their tier amongst the Weavers but Taryn themselves? And we next find ourselves with an interaction between Eleanor and Kay, speaking about the would-be plot at the Inkblot, where Kay so kindly and sincerely shared his aid, and hopefully that will lead this party onto better footing for when Kiran comes back to visit. And we ended our session, as we love to do, with a little bit of a spicy lore drop. As the promise of timey-wimey bullshit finally comes to a head, as we all meet Anya in the flesh. Bloodied flesh, almost. And as before Alecto could come to grips with what had occurred, such revelations come. Seeing this hand armor, being told that she would die, and an Alecto begging for Anya to not kiss Rem.
Thank you. As always, our lovely game of Invisible Sun has a bunch of content warnings with it because this game was made for a mature audience. So sex, drugs, crimes, violence, body horror, classism, and some degrees of BDSM aesthetic are present in the core rules of the game. We are using safety tools on and off screen, and if you are feeling uncomfy or just feel like you need to step away, please do so. Specific content warnings for our game include violence, depression, strained complicated relationships, anxiety, panic attacks, and self-destructive behavior. Some other miscellaneous things I would like to point out that happened between sessions was Eleanor learned some new skills in an offline side scene that we aired, I think it was last week, that can be found on our YouTube. We had a lovely guest player named Gona reprising her old Invisible Sun character. We also had another side scene recorded that will air next week, but it happened between last session and this session, and that has to do with Alecto. The title of the side scene is called Fighting Through Grief, so take that as you will. It is very good. They were both very good. And as always, we start off the game with our first card pull of the night. Roshni's favorite card that I have pulled multiple times for them, and which is very apt because we're starting with Roshni. I have pulled the Doctor. Value of 0. Visions, swans, blades, and water. Meanings: wisdom, health, dependence upon others, and disease. Doctors help, but it's a help we'd rather not need. No one wants to see a doctor. We only see them if something's gone frighteningly wrong. They have knowledge, perhaps secret knowledge, and an insight few can match. But these are secrets about disease and death. Can one delve so deeply into such topics and not come out affected? The Doctor is the nemesis of the Visions family. This enigmatic, genderless figure is a harbinger of illness and plague, with the possibility of succor or even remedy from the deeds they foretell. There is an inherent contradiction to the Doctor, then. They are the hero we really do not want. The Nemesis card means that empaths get a -2 and everyone else gets a -1 to all their ventures. Roshni, please tell us a little bit about who you reached out to and where you are headed.
So, I reached out to the one and only Avelia. Avelia, as we all recall, is sister to Kiran, one of the people, one of the goetics who is responsible for all of the stuff that has been going on in our campaign thus far. And if you also recall, Avelia gave Roshni tack as a means of communication. Roshni, of course, didn't use tack, knowing full well that the party wanted to maintain their presence with everyone else, a useful source of information going forward, of course. So instead, Roshni found a different way to contact Avelia, went through their connections, and managed to send a message out into the new sphere, specifically for Avelia. And the message read as follows. Let me help you fix the holes in your operation. Meet me at cafe tomorrow night. Come alone. Dressed to impress. Love, your biggest fan. And the response they got back wasn't exactly great.
Can I respond? I would like to respond in character, please. The response you got with a very big oof expression from the person who sent the message for you was as follows. The time and location is not up for negotiation. You meet me at Speakeasy on date time or not at all. Tube 9-17 will be reserved for you.
At least they got a meeting, right? So Roshni is now going to meet Avelia. Let's see what Avelia has to say.
You head to Speakeasy. It is basically a nice little bar with conversation tubes and a very nice atmosphere. It's a pro city. You can listen to music and be fulfilled, like sustained, like you would food by listening to this music. This place is lightly dimly lit with beautiful photographs on the walls and lanterns, like just on its lowest setting, just to give that mood. And upon the walls, there are who knows how many bronze tubes weaving throughout the place, connecting people in conversation. Tube 9-17 is towards the back of Speakeasy. And when you get there, it is open.
So Roshni is going to maybe stop at the door, or at sort of the entranceway to this tube. Just kind of take a deep breath, collect themselves, rearrange the satchel on their hip, and walk in with an air of confidence.
What color is your thing today?
I think it's a familiar sea green.
Okay. Yeah, you are able to walk in very easily. The conversation tube that you were assigned is empty. There are a couple spaces that are also open next to it, but they are having their own conversations with other people on the other line because the conversation tubes lead off into different areas of the establishment.
Roshni will walk in and take a seat, looking into sort of the conversation tube, and assuming that Avelia is on the other side, they're just going to say, "You couldn't meet me in person, face to face?"
First of all, who the hell are you?
Avelia, darling.
No,
why
I'm
play
fucking
these
serious.
games?
Who are you? You show up randomly on a roof in the middle of a raid and you're like, I'm your biggest fan. Who the fuck?
I'm somebody who's been following your work for quite some time.
Well, wait, what a great first impression, just being all weirdo, just coming up like that.
You're a very hard person to find, you know?
Yeah, you
I
think
figured
there's
that
a
if
reason for that?
Exactly. And so isn't it impressive that I managed to find you?
Not really, I was kind of in broad daylight.
Well, Avelia, I don't think it matters how we met or under what circumstances. All that matters now is that I can see that you have problems, let's call them, holes to fill in your operation, and I think I can help you fill them.
Please enlighten me on what these problems are. And what you can offer.
your operation seems to be full of goetics, correct?
And your point?
My point being that there are a lot of abilities that your subordinates don't have, and some of those subordinates, from what I've heard, getting cold feet. It'd be a shame if something happened.
I'm pretty sure I've got an iron fist on all of them.
Do you?
Yes.
I wouldn't be so sure about that, darling.
Well, I haven't had any problems yet.
Yet. That's the key word, isn't it? I'm a problem solver. I'm
Or
here
a
to make
problem
sure.
maker.
You don't know me, Avelia. You made that very clear. Doesn't do well to pass judgment on strangers, does it?
And yet you're doing the same thing.
The difference being, it's not a judgment on you, but a judgment on your work.
Get it over with. I have shit to do. What is your proposition?
My proposition is give me a role in your operation. Let me help you do the tasks that are delicate. You need somebody that you can trust to keep your subordinates in line. I can make sure to do that. I have a way with people.
And yet, there is no trust to build upon yet. You want me to just give you a lovely little role in this organization,
Let
and
me
yet you
prove
haven't
it,
given me
Avelia.
anything.
Let me prove it, Avelia. What do you want?
There's a long pause. And I also want you to make a roll, a persuasion roll, please. You have
Okay,
-1.
-1, but I have. Can you do the math for me while I'm listing out things?
Yeah.
I have 2 to persuasion.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use a bene for it,
Mhm.
an interaction bene for this.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible to say that I can use a hidden knowledge, based off of the fact that we know, like, all the information that the group has gathered regarding Gideon and like their father and like all of that business? Okay, how much is that? What do I get?
So, with the -1, that's a +3. Are you using sortilege?
You know what? Yes, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, cool.
So then this becomes a 2d10 roll?
You're rolling 2d10, a +3 to each roll. Tell me what you get on each die.
Okay, I got a 9 and a 5.
Okay. There is a long pause. You say you know about what I'm doing, right?
Yeah, loosely. As much as information as I can gather.
Then you know what piece I'm missing.
I do.
Get it?
For you.
No, for the lady in the hollows taking care of people, of course for me.
And if I do that,
We'll move forward. You said...
I'm gonna need something a little bit more concrete than that,
Listen,
love.
you said trust. You need to show me some trust first, and I'll show you some trust. And right now, there's zilch. Nothing.
Okay. I accept the terms of your agreement. I will get your missing piece for you, and when I do, you will let me into your operation.
Fine.
I really am your biggest fan, Avelia. You shouldn't doubt me so much.
Yeah, I'm gonna just call that bullshit.
Well,
Whether
that'll
it's
change
true or
soon.
not.
Well, it was a pleasure doing business with you, Avelia.
And you don't get a response after that. I said she was a bitch. All right. The next scene. Unless you had something else you wanted to do. Okay. So. I have pulled the next card. I need to play a second card. That card was the ambassador. But the card after that is the blind guardian. On the blue sun. Value of 2. Vision, swans, blades, and water. Safety, impartiality, serenity, blindness, and challenges. The blind guardian watches over us like a protector, That's probably our door it guards. Because of its blindness, it confronts all intruders equally, from lowest vermin to the most powerful god, from the purest angel to the vilest demon. Its blindness also confers a calmness. You'll never see the guardian worry or fret, nor will you see it eager or anticipatory. To those that seek what it guards, it is a difficult challenge. You cannot bribe or charm this guardian, and despite its blindness, or because of it, it is very difficult to fool or deceive. Silver magic is enhanced, gold is hindered, and empaths get a +1 to their ventures. Today is the day, and also you can refresh your sortilege pool, Roshni, because this is a different day. The day has finally come where, on that little invitation that you got delivered by Rat, inviting you, by name, each of you, to tea in the Hollows with the Revelation, one of Saturn's most extensive crime organizations. What are you doing? Prepping to go over there.
Well, Ishmael is getting dressed, as he always does, his armor for today, and he dresses in his bow corset of black and gray with a white shirt underneath. He looks to the mirror as he is getting dressed, steeling himself as much as he can. This may be a cup of tea, but it's not going to be a walk in the park now, is it? And he ties up his hair tightly into a messy bun as he just focuses and gathers his things, the journals, whatever he needs to keep on top of the potential information and discussions that may come.
Is it safe to say you are all gathered at Ishmael's? Okay.
Alecto doesn't go inside, but they would go.
Waiting awkwardly underneath the fangs. I don't blame Alecto for not wanting to go in.
No, and I think they have not exactly dressed well for tea. There are bruises, like thick bruises, and that kind of model underneath all of their tattoos. They look a little bit better, but they're in like the late stage of healing, so they're kind of like lighter purples and a little bit yellow. But otherwise, they are outside in their typical robe / cape / not much else, and they're I think they knock. They're a little bit later than they usually are. They knock on the door, but they don't open it and go inside.
Ishmael hears the hiss of the snake travel up to his ear. Kind of nods to himself, understanding the situation, and walks towards the mouth of the snake where the door sits, and opens it and sees Alecto on the other side. Hi.
Hi.
Would it be terrible of me to ask how you are doing?
I don't think it would be terrible of you, but I don't know if I'm ready to answer.
That is completely okay. I'm here. I know you questioned if we were still friends. I like to think that we are.
And behind the mask, Alecto kind of shifts. I'm grateful to you, Ishmael. for doing what you did for me, despite everything. Despite how it played out. I'm sorry you had to see that.
The entire time you're saying that, you see what was a subtle shake of his head turn more and more pronounced. No. Bites his lip. No, I should have done more. I knew the risks. I understood that this was going to be painful, but I thought you needed more space. I should have protected you more.
And Alecto kind of lifts up their mask, and they have a little bit of a black eye, I think. And like one of their lips is like split a little.
Alecto, what happened?
Don't worry about it. I told you I was working through some things.
In a tumble dryer?
Grief is a blade that keeps on cutting. It's the only thing I know how to do. Ishmael, the four of you, you're the only people I have. You can try to take care of me, and I can try to take care of you. That's what we said, right?
You see Ishmael do something that you've never seen him do before as he covers his mouth. Yes. Because perhaps that's all we need. As a friend, yes.
And if it's okay with you, I think Alecto reaches out and like awkwardly touches Ishmael's shoulder. And I think there's like if it's okay with you, like as your snake tattoos like maybe come up, they like cross over Alecto's tattoos, like just where their skin meets for a moment.
Yes. You see both Vasuki and Shesha, both snakes, intertwine with one another, spiraling towards your tattoos, and both their heads meet, both kind of like mirroring one another, meet your tattoos.
I think they like pass over through the like these like arcane, like sharp, jagged edges. And the whole rest of Alecto just kind of like reacts to it too, like almost serpentine, like their head like curls in this funny way as it passes through them. Bonded by magic, then. Friendship.
And you see Ishmael, if it's okay with you, he'll ask permission before touching your upper forearm, because you're tall. He's small.
You're not small. You're 6 feet.
Compared to
I'm
Alecto.
8 inches taller than.
But you're not small.
But like stature, in terms of stature, not necessarily in sizing, but in stature.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And just holds your upper forearm and goes and just looks at you and is like, there is no one I'd rather be bonded to by friendship.
And Alecto, I think, looks over their shoulder for a moment to make sure that nobody else is coming down the sidewalk.
Just Yasser in a corner, just looking at me like,
like, okay.
Yasser's been very quiet, actually,
fair.
since you last saw him.
Oh my,
Better.
I wonder why.
Mhm.
And Alecto gets a kind of serious look on their face. I think I understand why you're doing this. What this means to you.
He arches an eyebrow, and this entire from the several interactions you've had with Ishmael even before today, there is a shifting of how he's kind of like approaching you. And where before your gaze would usually meet a steely wall or just kind of a more cold, logical frame, he just genuinely looks like confused and surprised. Like never before would he allowed himself that emotion to show.
And Alecto looks kind of awkward because words aren't their thing.
Yeah.
I recognized your grief. What you saw in me, I saw it mirrored back. But the difference is Anya is dead and Kieran lives. So I'll fight for you. For a happiness I might not have anymore, but one I can give to you. Make sure that you get.
Give it together. That means a lot. That means a lot, Alecto. But I know it's complicated, but I hope that someday, even if all I can help you towards is peace, even if it's just that, I wish to bring you some relief. Make room for joy once more.
And they look like they want to object, but they don't. Maybe. Either way, we'll go together.
Together. Also, I don't know if you read any of the missives I sent, but I know you don't want to come in right now, and that's okay, but I do have a mug for you at some point, so you must remind me to give that to you at some point.
Speaking of mugs, we'll be late for tea.
You see him sigh. Yeah.
And I think at this
Am
point,
I-
other people are probably approaching to meet.
Am I dressed inappropriately for tea?
He looks you up and down. Okay, is it usual Electro garb?
Yep.
I think for where we're headed, this works just fine. Listen, if I were them and I looked at you, I'm not gonna mess with you. That's just, and hopefully they wouldn't try.
Well, if your aim is anything like it was in the Hollows.
I still can't believe I did that.
Who arrives? I will pick and choose.
Lillian will come in next. She's always kind of early.
I think Eleanor as well, usually, too.
Usually, but I'm doing something.
Oh, you're doing something. Okay.
What are you doing? Sorry.
I
No. Lillian will walk up with like a cookie tin, like with a bow on it. Hi. Hello. I hope everyone's been okay. know we're going to. I brought some. I just assumed that we were going. I should bring something.
Oh, and here I was thinking those were for me. I'm heartbroken, Lillian.
And Lillian reaches inside of her bag and pulls out a special, like, little thing of cookies and hands them to Alecto. Don't worry, I made sure to bring some just for you. I know you have a sweet tooth. Are you okay?
Yeah, fine. Don't worry about it. And Alecto, I think, uncharacteristically, leans down and cups one of Lillian's cheeks if she allows it.
Yes. Oh,
That was a fast yes.
sorry.
You are a bright, bright sun, Lillian.
Thank you.
Never
I
change.
cherish our friendship a lot, and I want you to know that. And funny enough, these cookies, when you bite into them, they taste like a bright, sunny day. Like a perfect summer day.
And Alecto smiles, I think, and just kind of shakes their head and I think leans against one of the like lower fangs, you know, as they just immediately open up the cookies and go for them.
Why do I feel like this is the first good meal Alecto has had all week?
None of your business, Mare. Stay out of it.
Are we still waiting on the rest of the group before we head out?
Seems like so. Also, Lillian, you're a sight for sore eyes.
It
And
is
you see,
wonderful
like,
to see you again.
if
And
you
Lillian
allow-
like kind of goes in for a hug.
Yeah. Michelle gives you a big squeeze.
I have so much to talk to you about. But
On the
that's
train.
Yes.
If Eleanor is doing something, I think then Roshni's probably the next person to show up, oddly enough. And they kind of just like stride down this street with the satchel, and Tack is obviously tied to the satchel as always, since we got him. And the bookmark is again like a sea green today as well, and they have the dagger like strapped to the other side of their hip, and they walk up and see everybody congregated outside for some reason. And so they, like, as they walk up, they kind of just like look confused at everyone. Are we not going inside, darlings?
Hello. Hi, Roshni. Hello, Tack. Are we saying hello to Tack?
Tack says hello.
Oh, hello. Hello, Tack. And hello, Roshni.
Was I supposed to be speaking to Tack this whole time?
Have you been ignoring them?
Aren't you? Are we
I
supposed to be
can't
showing
hear them.
them around?
I mean, that I've been doing. I've been going places, but I can't hear them the way that you do.
Alecto, I have a quick question. Do you need to spend sorcery to use that ability to talk to objects, or is it no cost?
Yes. I actually it is no cost. I can speak to any inanimate object.
Okay, then from
At no
Tack.
cost.
Then from Tack, you hear, yeah, Roshni went to a bunch of cool places, a bunch of places with a tube, got yelled at by an angry person. It was great.
Oh yes, that makes sense. Roshni is always getting yelled at by angry people.
Are you saying that out loud?
Yep.
I look at Tack, look back at you. Anyway, and their expression kind of changes and like softens a little bit as they like notice Alecto's whole injury situation thing again, and their hand kind of goes up to like almost their lip, but then they like hesitate and stop and like pull back, and they ask, has the healing been going okay?
Yeah. Yes. Alecto is so bad at hiding their feelings. They blush really a lot.
Don't you have a mask on?
No, they've
Oh,
pushed
took
it
it
up
off,
because
okay.
they're with their friends here. Yep.
Oh, food.
Good.
I know my magic isn't meant to heal necessarily, but
No, it's nice.
Good.
Warm.
Good.
Ishmael tries to cheekily catch the corner of your gaze.
Whose gaze?
Your
Which
gaze.
one of us? Oh,
Alecto's
no.
gaze.
Alecto is trying to look anywhere but at Roshni's face, I think, in fact. And so you catch it very easily. And they look a little like a deer in the headlights, I think.
How long does it take for you to get here, Eleanor? How late are you today?
I'm probably like 15 minutes late. I'll say 15 minutes late.
Yeah. So Eleanor shows up 15 minutes late.
Yeah, so I'm just walking on up. Hi, everybody.
No, are you? Hi, hello. Are you okay? I was getting concerned. You were running a little late.
Late? What time is it?
Weren't we supposed to be here a while ago?
Sorry, I was working on my watch. I must have said it wrong.
Oh, it's okay. I was just a little. I was
I'm
worried.
sorry. Yeah, no, that's my fault. I was working on my watch this morning, and I lost track of the time, evidently.
Well, that is no matter. I mean, we're all here now. Are we feeling
We are.
prepared?
I'm ready to go.
Is there anything that we need to know before we go in?
Who's
Any
gonna do the
etiquette?
talking?
That's a good question.
From my contacts, all I know about the revelation is that they have a vast network in Saturnine, and before the war, they were very active. There were plenty of scuffles, and they took territory as they did. So I guess one of the main things we want to learn out of this is the nature of their antagonism with King Nine, perhaps.
I
But,
don't think I should do very much talking, but I will stand ominously behind all of you.
You are very good at doing that.
Thank you.
I mean,
I'm not inexperienced talking to people of perhaps not this level of shady, but some not so great folks I could probably help. Although I think, Ishmael, darling, you should probably also be involved, given your dulcet tones.
you flatter me. I mean, I'm quite curious. Honestly, I think I would like to see what they have to say. They are the ones that invited us. There's something on the table. I want to see what it is. But if we work together, I'm sure I feel pretty comfortable with that.
If we get an offer, how would we like to proceed?
Depends on what the offer is. Sorry.
Was my question. What would they offer us?
Recruitment, allyship.
The most I'll do is sell them curses, but they can come to my shop for that. I'm sure they already do.
I wasn't aware that working with them was even on the table.
I'm not sure either, but doesn't hurt to be prepared so that we're not caught off guard should it come up.
I think we should play this as coyly as I'm pretty sure they will play it. They will want to see what tickles our fancy and what we are looking for, what business we have in aiding them in the first place in the Hollows, risking life and limb. And we want to know what they've got going on against King Nine. None of us want to reveal our cards, and the less cards we reveal, the better off we'll be. So if they give us an offer, I'd say to them, like any good negotiator, we shall speak and think on it. that would be, and consider it carefully, as they would hope any individual they work with would consider it carefully.
And that's why we keep you around.
Oh, and it's not just my flamboyant charm. You wound me, Alecto.
I like you mostly for your hair, I think.
I will take that.
You peacock. All right. So it sounds like we're heading off to the Hollows. Okay. Very simple. I'd say it's probably fairly early, like, brunch time. That was the time given to you to meet with them. And when you pass through the arch to into the hollows, the chill weather of autumn of Fartown turns brisk and cold with a bite in the air as you inhale. Winter has hit the rest of Saturnine. Hasn't snowed yet, but it is getting bitterly cold. And once again, with this chill inhalation, there is also the smell of grime and feces and trash and all that great stuff in the hollows. It is... Alecto, you would know best out of everyone. Since you were here earlier this week, the attacks have died down. A little bit because of you, but in general, they've also just died down. Like, no one, after you did away with some of them, no one else has showed up. Hence why you had to go to other places. But in order to get to the address listed on your invitation, you need to cross the river and head up to a very well-kept small house. Well-kept is very generous for a place in the Hollows. There are no broken windows. There are no torn down doors. It all looks cohesive. There doesn't seem to be any mismatch in the wood or the paneling. And I'll pull the next card as you get here. On the Indigo Sun, I have pulled the Dangerous Elixir. Value of 1, notions, cats, clocks, and wind. Meanings power, transformation, risk, and consequence. Powerful magic comes in small, perhaps even innocuous forms. The Dangerous Elixir proves that to be true. It is powerful and transformative, but is it a boon or a bane? Are the potion's effects harmful or helpful? It's all about the risks you're willing to take and the consequences you're willing to face.
So we're getting poisoned at tea time, I see.
Indigo magic is enhanced, doubly so because it's on the Indigo Sun, and gray magic is hindered. Ardents get a +1 to their ventures, which is good. And as you approach, there seems to be someone standing outside. For what purpose, you're not sure, but Eleanor, you recognize them. This person has the head of a white hot star. The one you saved from the beetle when you were in the Hollows.
Oh.
They are dressed very nicely in a slick suit with a heavy jacket on top. And as they see you approach, they kind of give like a nod.
I will nod back with a smile.
You're being expected.
So I've heard.
And with that, there's actually kind of like a fence. It's not a white picket fence because that's a little too much for the Hollows, but there is like an iron fence that they open the door for all of you.
Just a gay little detail, because I'm in the mood today, I suppose, is that once we got into the Hollows,
Yep.
Alecto took off their cape and draped it over Lillian's shoulders
Oh.
because of the winter. That's all. Just a note.
Yes. Good. Yeah, and
That happens. Lillian like snuggles into it to stay warm.
I hope it's clean. Oh.
Enough.
It's warm. But yeah, they wait for you to enter.
can we take a look around first? Like, what does it look like on the outside? Are there like people patrolling? Like what's the vibe around here?
I'll just give this to you because it's not super, they're not hiding. Besides this person that is beckoning you inside, there seem to be 2 other people on the far corners of the property. The house is 1.5 stories, so it's just got that 1 floor and then like the attic. But there's not a lot of people out here right now. Just the 2 and the star-headed person.
I think Alecto is the last one in, probably is taking up the back, but I am also keeping an eye out for anyone who's been in my shop before, just as a general rule of thumb, I think,
Okay.
while we're having this conversation.
Remind me to pull a card when you leave. Okay? Because there's a lot of people here. Yeah, and as you approach the door opens on its own for you. And it leads down into a long hallway, much longer than the house is large. Several staircases can be seen, leading off in several different directions, both up and down. Follow me. Boss is awaiting for tea in the main room. And this heat radiating off of them, they begin to walk until they finally come to a door that is plain, very well made. Eleanor, you see a lot of nice art in this place. Like, a lot of nice art. How well versed are you in the art world?
At least for a time, I was very well versed.
You were very well versed. Some of this stuff has been missing from the art world for a very long time.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's just on display for decoration.
I'll keep that in mind.
And they lead you into a nice little dining area that is set for tea. It is set for 6. There are little name plates in front of each sitting area for all 5 of you, as well as a small little bag with your names on it and little tea sandwiches, several desserts. She'll be with you soon. And this star-headed person closes the door and leaves you alone.
I resist the urge to sit in Roshni's seat.
Just to be a shit.
Oh yeah, 100%.
What does the 6th nameplate say?
There is no 6th nameplate. Just the 5 of you.
How are we positioned?
I'll leave that relatively up to you. However you would want. But I'll say Alecto and Roshni are next to each other.
Yes. Even they knew. They sensed it.
Actually, I do have a seating arrangement on the far side. So if you're going like from 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock in counterclockwise order, you have Alecto, Roshni, Eleanor at the opposite head of the table, Ishmael, and then Lillian.
Sorry, did you see me not be able to do that? Embarrassing about.
I'm so sorry, but I saw your face. I lost it.
So, Alecto is technically sitting next to the person without a nameplate.
Yes.
Great. Good. Love it. Thank you.
Yes, so
I will sit.
Alecto and Lillian are next to the person without a nameplate. And Eleanor is across from them. I don't know how y'all feel about this, but it's fine.
I can't believe you were there. You were like from 8 to 4 in reverse.
Sorry, I meant like
clock
I'm
order.
sorry, I
I
meant
was
like
how
10 to
could
2.
you?
It's like, listen,
It's like how
I'm
could
not
you?
listen. Words. Stop.
It's okay. I forgive you. I forgive you.
Listen, I have a lot of words that I need to say. You have a couple minutes before they come in.
Is there a clock in here?
Oh yeah, definitely. It is
Okay, I'm gonna
ornate.
set my watch.
You can set your watch.
That
your
can't be as
watch-
simple as you make it sound.
No, I refuse.
This clock does.
Does
like,
your watch?
Or this watch.
Does your
What
watch
is
look
your watch?
different?
No, my watch looks the same. It's a fucking watch.
I don't trust you.
Okay.
Eleanor
What do you want me to
is
do
sus.
with that?
Eleanor is
Don't
sus.
know.
Eleanor
New
or
plot. I want to know
Alex?
about this watch. That's it.
You
Just
can
now
ask
watch.
Eleanor. Nothing is stopping you.
Ishmael won't pay. He's got too much on his mind to be paying attention to that.
Ishmael doesn't care. Val, on the other hand,
Val cares. Val cares about
cares
everything.
deeply.
Is there food set on the plates already? Or
No, not yet.
Okay.
You said there were bags? Sorry.
They were small. There's small bags with that have your names on them, in a nice crushed green velvet.
Lillian's
Is
looking in
any-
the bag.
Oh, careful. God, that makes Alecto so stressed.
Lillian.
Just, wait. Just,
oh.
Is there? Can I hear anything coming out of the bags?
Clinking.
Like vocally?
No, you will just audibly like something's clinking on the inside against each other. Lillian, do you look inside?
Okay, fine.
Well, I feel if Alecto makes a noise, Lillian would stop and wait. Because she knows Alecto knows things.
Alecto does the thing where they whisper to the bag and whatever is inside of it. I think they just straight up ask, "Are you gonna kill us?"
No.
Okay, you can open it.
Okay, and we open the bag and look what's inside of it.
Yeah, there is 100 crystal and 4 mage coins in there.
Is that in everyone's bag?
If you look, yes.
Lillian's gonna take it, close the bags. I feel like it's a drawstring, and gently put it down. And lean over to Ishmael. That's a lot of money in there.
I saw over your shoulder. Yes.
Like the crystal is
Interesting.
give or take on how much it is, but the mage coins are a lot.
Is there another reason we're here?
Well, I think we're going to find out,
I told you we should be ready for an offer.
and we will be.
This isn't an offer. This is a payment.
We haven't accepted the payment yet. It's always an offer, Lillian.
You see him kind of like so the foods. I assume this is like a high tea sort of situation, where the finger sandwiches are on like high tea little plates. Are they like in the central of the table, or are they leaning towards one side?
They're interspersed. They're like
Okay.
evenly distributed throughout the entire. Yeah, I think I know what you're all laughing at.
How could you? How could you?
Hey, little bag, let me whisper in your ear. I wish I were that clever. That was not me. Thank you, Chillankers.
Why'd you have to whisper it? Why?
Because that's what you're supposed to do.
We have a serious scene that's going to happen.
I'm trying so hard.
I know.
Okay, once I get serious, I'm moving on. Okay. After some bag whispering and awkward like putting the money back down, their door opens. A door that you sorry, go ahead.
Before the
Good.
door opens,
Yeah, yeah.
the door opens.
Yeah.
Can I try to steal some crystal out of the bag?
Yeah. The one that
Alright,
has your
cool.
name on it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go for it.
I'm gonna take just a handful of just how much ever. No, I'm not touching the mage coins.
Okay.
But I'm gonna take just like enough crystal that it's not really noticeable at first glance that anything has been taken, and just put it into my satchel.
Okay, yeah. You can do that. You do so. Okay. While you are debilitating, stealing something that already belongs to you, and just looking at the food, a door opens that you don't realize there's a door immediately right there because it's kind of like blended in with the wall. And the person that walks in is a woman, older, definitely has dark brown hair already streaked with gray and a heavy braid to her side, wearing a high neck, deep maroon dress. She has a plate permanently affixed to half of her face, and as she pulls out the chair and sits down, you see her right hand has an extra finger, similar to the Testament of Sons that everyone except Alecto has. So that's the hand. I'm not going up to get mine. And after that, they have smoothed out their skirts and sat down. She looks at every single person from right to left and left to right. Thank you, Alex. Thank you for accepting my offer.
Thank you for inviting us. I brought cookies.
How sweet.
I hope you enjoy.
Thank you. I am boss. I am the leader of the revelation, and I wanted to just give my thanks for the work you did the other day in helping with a little pest problem.
Is that why you organized such a decadent tea ceremony with us?
I wouldn't
Just for
call it a
thanks.
ceremony, just a brunch. And something more sustainable than just mere desserts. And she nods at each bag. That is for you.
As thanks.
As thanks. No strings.
That's very generous of you.
Alecto, do you touch yours at all? Or look at yours?
Oh, that's a terrifying question. Yeah.
Yours has 150
Yeah.
gold, 150 crystal instead.
I did do more carving. Yep.
On extra days.
On extra days. Yep. Alecto kind of just, waggles. I was so scared. I thought you were going to kill me or something.
No, that's later.
Yep. Alecto puts the kind of heavier bag down on their plate and it like thumps a little loudly with the coin in it.
Please, help yourself. And she will work on pouring herself tea and grabbing some food and nibbling.
That is very generous of you. I won't speak for the others, but thank you.
She'll incline her head in a thank you. And you're welcome.
So about this pest problem.
And what was that,
Why-
Val?
Sorry. So about your pest problem.
Yes.
Persistent. one, is
Persistent.
it?
I'm very curious as to why the 5 of you are involved, or decided to involve yourselves. People have been avoiding
Just-
the Hollows.
Just some good Samaritans taking a walk.
Really?
Do you find that so hard to believe?
Yes.
You're a wise one.
Do you watch much of what goes on in the Hollows?
When it makes sense for me to. And it makes sense for me too. Often these days.
Of course. In that case, you might have missed that our path through the Hollows really was simply from the gate to what was the name of the shelter? The woman who runs the
Orleans
shelter?
shelter.
Orlean. From the gate to Orleans shelter and back again. We simply saw your pest problem along the way.
And then involve yourself. Because I do pay attention when they decide to fly by. And they were not on the path. You don't have to answer this question. This is just simply for my own curiosity. Except for you. And she points her teaspoon at Alecto. You came back.
I find myself often inclined to use my sword.
How
when
chivalrous.
Necessary. Alecto clears their throat uncomfortably. They haven't been eating anything because they haven't taken their mask off. I think they maybe just like have put tea in front of them and are kind of like holding it and not
more
ever
sugar
bring it.
and more sugar.
Yep.
Just keep adding sugar.
They just keep like spinning their spoon around in the tea. It looks the teaspoon looks ridiculous in their hands.
I mean, in all honesty, we were at Orleans, and we heard screaming, and we helped. That is the truth of the matter.
So
Pure
bold.
curiosity.
So bold.
Well,
So
we
kind.
helped you.
And it's appreciated, hence why I'm offering some kind of payment. Do you consider involving yourself more? Are you going to keep going on this path of just being good Samaritans?
No, just very interested at the designs of your pest. Seems to just continuously target your people and the people of the Hollows. Such chaos in a time like this. It's kind of concerning.
It is a thorn. But that didn't answer my question for any of you. Do you plan on involving yourselves more? I'm sorry, what were you going to say,
As
Alex?
I said,
I was going to say something that's not quite relevant, so I'll ask it later.
Okay.
as I mentioned earlier, I am often inclined to use my sword when necessary.
Hmm. And you two? Or you three? Then she looks at Roshni, Eleanor, and Lillian.
Well, if the problem in the hollows, if the pests get out, then it poses a problem for all of Saturine, doesn't it?
Yes. She continues her gaze to the other two ladies.
Oh, I'm just here to help. I'm just with them.
For myself, I'm not much of a problem solver. I help people when I find them in need, but it's not exactly something I'm equipped to do on a daily basis, nor interested.
Well, if you decide to involve yourself further, we can use each other and end this swarm.
It is unusual that the Revelation couldn't take care of its own problems.
We can handle the demons just fine. It's just the finding the queen bee, so to speak, the leader of the hive.
I hope you'll forgive me for asking, but what seems to be their interest in the Hollows? There's more money in the Marquis District, there's more magic in the Reinvention in Fartown. Why here?
Roll me a persuasion check, Eleanor.
Oh dear, okay. Let's see. I'm going to use a surge on that. I'm going to spend one of my Bene from interaction. And I have a skill in persuasion. So +3, 2 die.
Okay.
All right, on my magic die, I got an 8. On my regular die, I got a 5.
She takes a nice sip of her cup of tea. King 9 has a vendetta against me. So this is personal. He is being quite annoying and evasive.
Is he the type of person to typically expend many resources on vendettas and personal projects?
If I know him as well as I think I do, then yes. He's the type of person to hold a grudge.
And then act on that grudge.
Yes, whether it is the correct move or not.
If I may ask, boss, why does King 9 have a grudge against you? What did you do to scorn him so?
Make me a roll, Roshni.
Is this also persuasion?
This is also persuasion. You roll. You have a +1 from the card. You have your skill. You can use interaction if you would like.
Yeah, I don't. I'm also gonna use. Actually, nah. Okay, I'm not gonna use a sortilege, so I have +4, and it's just 1 die, right?
Correct.
Okay. Rolled a 4, so total 8.
Okay. I stole something from him a long time ago. An opportunity, so to speak. And he hasn't forgiven me for that.
Must have been a big opportunity.
It was, actually. You didn't roll high enough to get the exact reason, or the exact name or what the opportunity was.
Question. How's Umbra behaving right now?
Oh, I forgot Umbra's there, yeah. Umbra is alert, looking out for danger, and keeping a very close eye on Boss.
Okay.
When
Also,
Boss
maybe
answers-
occasionally stealing a food.
I'm totally feeding Umbra under the table.
Okay.
That's not stealing.
Oh yeah, she doesn't look twice.
When she answered Roshni, I want to feel her vibes, like her motivations. Was there a coy tone, or was it perhaps like more contemplative and just remembering?
Yeah, there's a lot of social roles tonight, y'all. Go ahead, give me a quick insight. She's a strong lady.
Understanding motives. I got a +1 from that, and I will put an interaction. Bene. Oh, please, no, I didn't mean to zoom. Whoops. And I'll just use the 1 die. That is a. So I had a plus Bene and +1, so that is 8 total.
Smug. When she was talking about that. An answer from Roshni. Smug.
Alecto is wearing the hand armor.
Mhm.
Does she seem to react to it in any way?
No, she does not.
So, you wanted us to pool our resources, so to speak. In what way do you propose that we could possibly do that?
With my reach, and with your... What's the best word to use here?
Sword.
Yes, but no. And your... What's the word I'm looking for? Non-affiliation with me. It might be a little easier to fly under the radar when it comes to King 9. I'm hoping that I do have agents currently trying to find his whereabouts, but he will be looking for every single person in my organization.
We were very prominent in what happened in the Hollows recently. You really think that King 9's not observant of that?
Himself?
How can we be sure that we'll be...
I promise you King 9 is not observant. His
Either
daughter-
way, how can...
His daughter may be so, but she is one person.
One person with a lot of connections, from what I hear.
She can't look at everything. And also, a multi-pronged attack. I have my own others that can keep an eye and go after him while he's distracted by you. Assassins exist, my dear.
And what exactly do we get out of this?
Well, first of all, I'm willing to pay you for your time, but it's open to negotiation. But I do have a large reach across the city.
That is very interesting, boss. Very, very generous offer, in fact, and very well considered strategy. I wonder perhaps if it is not just King Nine who bears a grudge.
Are you also talking about his daughter? Strong-headed Avelia?
Hmm.
It wouldn't be surprising if she also, his grudge rubbed off on her.
How many scrapes with her then?
Plenty. Too many, in my opinion. But she's just working for her father. To my knowledge, anyway.
I have a question.
Sure.
Given Alecto's history in Shadow specifically,
Mm-hmm.
would they have any concept of battle plans? Like, are we like the lamb sent to slaughter here? You know what I mean? Or like, is this an actual plan? Like, is she trying to fuck us over by making us the bait and leaving us for dead?
Roll. Yeah.
Roll what? Tell me what?
Some kind of motives interaction task, yeah. Since you are I like this idea, so you can give yourself an extra +1 because of the observantness and cleverness of this.
Excellent. I will also spend a bene. And I think, unless I have something nope, that's it. Okay. Okay, that is a 6 total. I'm not super good at, is it a fine roll?
It's hard to tell 100%. So you're kind of seeing like a bunch of the different routes, like, oh, she might be doing this with her strategy, she might be doing this with her strategy. So you're not sure 100%, but you're kind of getting the vibe that this is a legitimate tactic, but she doesn't really care if you come out of this or not.
Understood.
She's outsourcing her problems. You're more than welcome to think about this as long as you might need.
Thank you.
Dangerous work requires quite an investment.
I understand. I will not pressure you into doing this. It is simply an offer that I have decided to extend due to your previous accomplishments and your competency.
And should we seriously consider this offer?
You can
How
send.
do we contact you?
You may send me a letter. Believe it or not, I get mail just like everyone else in the city.
I mean, you are a careful individual, I'm certain. It's always good to check.
I have plenty of informants in a lot of different places.
And what if we say no?
You are welcome to say no, and I will not interfere.
Can I roll something on that to find out if it's I don't trust this?
Yeah, sure, definitely. You may roll.
An interaction?
Yeah.
I'm gonna spend 1. Can I use hidden knowledge?
You may. How are you reading her?
Yeah, don't worry.
Where is this hidden knowledge coming from, Lillian?
You're not the only one to do things in your downtime, y'all.
Where's this hidden knowledge coming from, though? Oh, from the stuff in downtime.
You know.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
You know
I
where
do,
this is
okay.
coming from.
Yep. Go ahead.
I rolled a dice. That's a 7.
On the die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus a Bene plus.
She is sincere.
knowledge.
She does not give a
Okay.
shit whether you take this offer or not.
Okay.
If you decide to say no, she will leave you be. But if you decide to say yes, she will work with you.
And nothing hostile.
I will give you what Alecto was not 100% able to tell. She doesn't seem to care whether you survive or not, but she's not going to intentionally put you in the way. If you die, you die because this is dangerous work.
Okay.
But she's not going to intentionally send you into a trap.
I also got a +1 for Ardence right now.
Yes.
Just in case
Yes.
that.
So you definitely passed.
Okay. Cool.
Like, as I said before, like out of character, she's outsourcing her work to you if you decide
Okay.
to accept it. And likely you're probably not the only ones.
One more question.
Okay.
Is she paying any extra attention to any person at this table? Midway through this conversation, Lillian would have stopped eating and drinking tea and just
Stared at her.
or started watching the entire group.
I'm going to roll a card for this because someone else might notice this as well. Hold on. I have pulled the compelling voice. Control, domination, and persuasion. Ardence. No, Gallant's get a +1.
It's fine, y'all. It's fine.
Okay, so this is about talking and such, but Ishmael and Lillian. She looks familiar. Like, neither of you met her before, but she looks familiar. Like, she does only have half of her face covered, but yeah. Okay, anyway. Were there any other questions, Lillian?
Nope, I'm good. Actually, you would see Lillian, if anyone's paying any attention to her, pull Umbra a little bit closer and put a hand on Umbra.
He'll lean into you. Any other questions?
No, I think we have enough information that we should go back and discuss this information that you've given us, and we'll get back to you with our answer.
Wonderful.
Just
Yes.
one question. Some of us operate in non-traditional forms of payment, and I was wondering how loose your willingness to negotiate is.
It does not need to be crystal.
It's good to know.
And she will stand up, like pat at her lips one more time with like a napkin. I will be on my way. One of my subordinates will be out to escort you shortly. And she'll turn around and walk through that door from earlier. You're muted,
I have
Val.
2 quick questions. Oh, go ahead.
Yep, sorry, go ahead, Alex.
One, just to make sure, the clock in here, that was like set to the right time, right?
Yes, it was.
Okay, good. Second, are there any mirrors in this room?
Yes.
Okay, great. Then I think that everyone would notice that throughout the duration of the meeting, Eleanor was just getting like slightly more and more agitated and just fiddling, twitching, kind of like tapping things, and just altogether seeming uncomfortable. And as soon as boss leaves the room, I'm going to get up, produce a small bottle of black liquid from my things, draw out, it's like a small, like almost like a little mascara brush that's like attached to the top of the thing, and I'm just going to wipe it on the mirror, and this like just small little smear of black liquid is just going to cover the entire mirror. And I'm going to go sit back down.
It is like the dark, blackest black, like black 3.0. It absorbs all light. It looks flat over this mirror.
I sit back down, seeming much more relaxed.
Yeah, your reflection gave you a dirty look as you were doing this.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Alecto doesn't know jack shit about what's going on right now, and just kind of pockets the crystal, shrugs, and goes, I mean, 2 birds, 1 stone, and we get paid for it. It's a pretty good offer.
No strings attached. I'm surprised and honestly a little wary.
So, let me clarify something there. So, Ishmael, like, something familiar about Boss.
Mm-hmm.
You see Ishmael, like, tapping his foot on the ground. Let's think about it a little bit more.
We should leave.
He'll pocket the money. I want money. I am not that honorable. I'm not above getting paid. I want money.
Almost as like clockwork, the door opens and this star-headed person appears again. Follow me, so you don't get lost in the house, and I will lead you back to the front door.
Lillian's like the first one out the door, and you'll notice she did not take the money.
Neither did I.
Fair.
Roshni's gonna take Lillian's bag for her, thinking that Lillian just forgot it.
That's fair.
So Roshni's gonna make sure to bring Lillian's bag.
Okay.
Ishmael will pocket Eleanor's.
Just for you? Just for yourself?
You don't know.
This star-headed person leads the 5 of you out of the house through these twists and turns and holds the door open for you. And she actually they actually walk out to like the front door with the iron gate as well. And as you're all walking through, Ishmael, can you have a joy, please? As they stop you. May I borrow a moment of your time?
I think Ishmael kind of like a split second is shocked and eyes wide, but then turns and goes, all right, that is all right, yes.
And they open up their jacket and pull out a letter for you and hold it out to you. Someone stopped by recently and asked me to hand this to the elegantly dressed person that was supposed to be meeting soon with Boss.
Very vague description. I need it to be me.
It's just a simple folded piece of paper, and it has your name written Ishmael in a familiar handwriting.
When did you see this person?
4 days ago?
Thank you. And you see him kind of like step back. I should repay this favor. What is like the colloquial amount to tip?
I don't fucking know. A crystal is like $1, roughly. So, like, go based off that.
Okay, let's discuss amounts later. I hand in a handshake some coin.
You could hand them Eleanor's whole bag.
I have things I might want to use Eleanor's bag for, particularly talking to Eleanor.
Auto corsets are expensive, y'all.
Does that mean we only got paid $100? Because that seems pretty low for a criminal organization. Now that you put it in that context.
It's the mage coins, though. The mage coins are the big one. Go read up on mage coins later.
Did I get extra mage coins too?
No, just the extra coin.
Ugh. An extra $50? Whatever.
I must get back to work, but... And then they give you a nod and shut the gate behind you.
But that particular guard didn't look familiar at all, yes?
The guard or the person... But they didn't recognize them. No, they didn't recognize the person.
No, as in like when... I'm just imagining that this is Kiran like disguising themselves as a guard really randomly, just...
You recognize the star-headed person as the person
that Eleanor,
that Eleanor saved earlier the week.
Okay, understood.
Do you read it?
Yes. He'll open it as he's leaving as the gates close behind him, unfurl it and read it.
Did you still
Go ahead. See.
We could resolve this after, but I was wondering if you still wanted to pull a card for if Alecto recognized anyone from their shop. But also, it's not important. I would rather see this.
Yeah, I will pull that. I will pull it, and I will tell you during break. In familiar, neat handwriting, says the following. Angel Eyes. You don't know how surprised I was to get your message the other day. It was simultaneously the best and worst moment I experienced in the last 6 months. Joy filled my chest because I got to hear your voice for the first time in a long time. It was a gentle caress to my ears. But despair quickly chased the happiness away because it meant you've gotten closer to this dangerous situation. For your safety, please stop looking for me. With love, Morningstar.
You see Ishmael grip this paper tightly. He is happy, delighted, and he's so mad. He is so angry. This fool! This absolute goddamn fool! How dare they?
Ishmael has stopped, following the group. This paper gripped in their hands, and we'll resolve the rest of that after break. Everybody, please stand up, stretch, hydrate, and pet your pets. And we will be back soon. Bye. We are back from break, where we left off with a very angry Ishmael, and I did pull that card for you, Alecto. I pulled the unwelcomed child. You did not recognize anyone. Yeah, we return. Ishmael stopped gripping this paper with clenched fists. An expression I don't think any of you have ever seen on his face.
Lillian's gonna realize that Ishmael's not like right next to her, turn around. We need to leave right now.
As soon as your voice perks his ears, he's just like, yes, sorry about that.
And her face is very serious, and you see the cracks going much faster and more than normal.
Can I assume that you're all are, if you're leaving, you're heading towards the rail? Okay. You're muted, Alex.
Where are we headed?
I was assuming we're all going to go to Lillian's parents' place, which is in the ruined expanses.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
you need to go to another district. So
Yes,
that's my
yeah.
assumption.
Okay, yeah.
Lillian, what's wrong?
Nothing's wrong. We should be going. We should be going right now.
How obvious is Lillian's lying?
Very.
Okay.
Roshni walks up to Lillian and I think just slips their hand into hers and like squeezes tightly as they're walking.
And I think Alecto is like, okay, Lillian's taken care of. Turns to Ishmael.
My emotional support gay night, yes.
Yes, they're looking at you like an emotional support gay night. And I think they put one hand in the middle of your back and one hand in the middle of Eleanor's back. She allows it and kind of leads both of you, following behind Roshni and Lillian.
I will sort of nudge Alecto. I'm glad that letter had Ishmael's name on it. If it was just addressed to the elegantly dressed one of us, I thought it might be for you.
You know, I always thought I could give Ishmael a run for his money. I
bet
wasn't
you
ever
could.
going to say it, though.
I'll say
mean,
it
with
for you.
the way you dressed the other day, absolutely. I'd lose.
Oh, and Electa's face kind of falls. They falter a little.
Oh no! And then he immediately realizes what he said. He's like, I'm so sorry.
Fine. Funeral clothes.
I didn't know. I'm so sorry.
Let's catch up with them. Yep.
Awkward.
No, he knows. Oh no.
Awkward.
Whoops.
I have no idea what they're referring to. I'm just like, okay.
The five of you begin making your way towards the rail, the Saturnine rail, where it is easy enough to catch a train heading to the closest district that's in that like 4-district quadrant I was talking about. So you'd be heading to Brick House, which is actually not too far away from the Hollows. You do see a person with an umbrella, where it is snowing from underneath the umbrella as he walks by.
What do I know about Brick House?
You're making me pull it up. The Brick House district is a more so it's not a residential district. There's a lot of like places around there, lots of places for writing. It is a lot of books, and it's well established, old, well kept. A lot of middle-aged, upper middle class residents.
So it's like aggressively normal?
It's aggressively normal. It's known for its restaurants,
Okay.
both in quality and variety. I lied. It is not it is also a residential place.
Gotcha.
There's also a creature that is called the Gilded Horror that walks around and eats out of trash like a big giant rabid raccoon, but it's actually a weird bear thing that is gold and is very dangerous.
It is dangerous. That was going to be my first question.
It's dangerous, but it's slow.
Okay.
Can we befriend it?
No.
Damn it.
Can
Not
we
with
pet
that
it and then
attitude.
Run.
It's quiet.
What's it called? The Gilded what?
The Gilded Horror.
I think as we are all walking to the rail, Alecto, the Gilded Horror is going to be the last of our worries if we're heading into your parents' workshop, Lillian.
For reference, it appears to be a shambling bear with multiple heads and far too many limbs. Its entire body is covered in glistening gold plating. It has no guile or stealth. It clatters and clinks its way across the brick roads, mostly preying on rats or other small animals, but it's happy to take on larger meals too. It will not resist rummaging through trash cans or gardens for a meal.
Why do I feel like you just rudely described Alecto?
Do you have multiple, like, extra
Heads?
limbs?
No, I don't have extra limbs, but I'm big, shambling, and I have a gold thing on my face.
You eat at a trash can? Never mind. Never
No,
mind.
yes.
Never mind.
Don't ask.
Yes.
Don't ask.
I take
questions.
that back.
I feel
Don't
like
ask
this says
questions
more
you
about
don't
how you
want to
see
answer.
yourself.
It's cool. I still want to make friends with it.
No.
Yeah, can I add a new arc?
Yeah, make friends with the Gilded
Season
Horror.
2. Season 2.
Okay.
Season 2.
Keep that in mind.
Okay, sorry, continue.
Just stay together. You're far more likely to be picked off by whatever lives in the ruined expanses if you're alone. So, unlike the last time we were in the Hollows, please don't go running off. You're all going to give me an aneurysm.
I think Roshni looks very pointedly at Alecto and just says, I don't think we're the only ones who've been running off alone into the Hollows.
Alecto adjusts their mask. I can't believe they only paid me 50 more crystal. I feel like I got cheated.
Should have negotiated for more, darling.
I thought you were going to negotiate for me.
I didn't know what was in your bag.
Alecto almost looks like they pout a little.
I think at that, Roshni will pull out their pouch and hand it to Alecto. Since you got cheated.
I couldn't possibly take crystal from you.
I don't have any use for it.
That's a lie.
Like I thought so, but I'm glad you said so.
Sorry.
You know, I was just going to use it to buy you a gift, right?
I think Roshni like visibly blushes at that, and Lillian, who's like, I assume like they're still holding like Lillian's hand. Lillian, you can feel like Roshni's hand has like started to burn up a little bit. Like it's almost uncomfortable to keep holding their hand at this point.
Lillian probably like,
Uh,
like, so you don't get embarrassed that your hand got hot, but like, obviously.
I suppose then I'm not really giving you the money then, am I? So you might as well keep it.
I can't believe we're literally going to fight about this right now for so long.
The rail arrives and its door is open for you.
While this fight is going on, this little thing is going on,
Quote,
and
unquote.
they're distracted, Lillian's gonna grab Ishmael's hand and pull them separately from the group.
As this is happening, because I believe that like Alecto hasn't. I feel like Alecto's standing stock still with their hands on Eleanor and Ishmael. So you like pull Ishmael. It was like, oh, who had his like hand on the lower, like mid section of Alecto's back, like gives like a reassuring pat to his friend, and he goes, yep, yes.
We have a problem.
Oh, do we?
We have I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very important.
Mm-hmm.
You'll do anything to help Kieran, correct?
Yes.
We have to help Kieran. And you see Lillian starts fumbling through her stuff and her bag. Another thing you would have noticed is Lillian has not taken any photos. You haven't even seen her pull out her camera.
Oh fuck.
And she starts fumbling with things.
Oh, interesting. Okay. He like helps you, I imagine, because you have so many pieces of equipment on. He's just like, Lillian, darling, please let me help. What is going on?
I think it's funny. You see then a letter fall to the floor, and it says, "To our dearest Lillian." And she very quickly snatches it and like holds it. I think I've learned some things that we need to talk about this.
Lillian, you can talk to me about anything.
King
Let me get on.
9 is Kieran's father.
Yes.
So, Kieran is family to me, not by blood, but they brought me back from the shade and they went with me, to help. Kieran was working with my parents and Gala Azra, his father, to stop someone who stole something, to stop someone that hurt them. Gala's sister. And I think what we just did was have tea with the person that is the most dangerous person we could be having tea with. I don't know. I was told to stay away from Gala. I was told to stay away from Ophelia, and that they were against his sister, and that was what caused the rift. I think Boss is King Nine's sister, which would make it Kieran's aunt, which would make this
a whole family affair.
And we can't work with them.
He reaches out for your hands, if you allowed him.
And she gives you her hand.
Okay. Well, we sure did just have tea with the crocodile. All right. All right.
And at this point, she would show you the letter, which explains everything I said. I'm also going to put it in our chat for you.
Thank you.
And they said not to trust. I don't know. They there was something else. The photographs, it was affecting them as well, and not to trust it. They didn't know what it was. I'm worried. I'm worried what we're involved in. I'm worried what Kieran pulled us into. We have to protect Kieran at all costs. And we cannot trust Ophelia or their father or Boss.
You remind me so much of them. Even now, with all this, you're thinking of Kieran? Lillian, this is your family.
Kieran is my family.
I know.
Which makes you my family too now. And so we have to save them and help them. I don't know what Kieran is into, but we have to help them.
And we will. He kind of like scans through the letter. I have many thoughts, but I have to scan through this.
Yeah, you don't really have time to read through the whole thing.
No, he doesn't. No. He folds it, hands it back to you. Let's read it together. Let's sit together on the train. We'll talk through this. I might have a friend who can help us.
Okay. I trust you.
Oh, I am quite terrified to see them again if this is the information I have. Okay. And he pulls you closer and just kind of like squeezes your shoulder, trying to just reassure you after this lore drop.
Eleanor, as you enter the train, a very familiar reflection is looking at you as you make your way to your seat.
I make my way to my seat, and out of habit, I open up my bag, prepared to do some reading for the trip, and notice it is noticeably not carrying any reading. So I close it and try not to look at any reflective surfaces.
Is there anything else anyone would like to talk about on the train ride to the Brickhouse District? Okay. The five of you sit in relative silence as you make your way southeast towards Brickhouse. When you arrive and step off the platform, you just see this quaint district, bricked streets, nice little gardens, bookstores, and restaurants. Far off in the distance, you hear a clattering of garbage cans and loud walking of clip-clops on the sidewalk. But it is in the opposite direction of where you need to go.
Lillian runs that direction. No, she doesn't. She doesn't.
I cannot believe you've done this to me.
Listen, there's apparently a lot of things I've done to all of y'all, and you just have to deal with it and suffer enjoying it, so it's fine. It is, you need to walk to the edge of the district, and the farther you get away from the civilization of Brick House, there are more ruined buildings, there are more empty, and there's less people, rubble, a lot of rubble, until you are on that precipice of destruction. Is there anything else you would like to do before you head out?
I will go ahead and cast Myrmidon Strength, my favorite spell, on myself, as per usual.
Your favorite spell. Perfect.
It is my favorite spell.
Anyone else?
Ishmael, very briefly, will, as he's sitting next to Lillian, have you spoken to that entity since?
No, I haven't.
Keep it that way. As much as you can avoid contact.
I've been keeping the camera, and you see, probably for the first time, she pulls it out, and it's in like a special case that covers all of it.
You did make an agreement with it. I will figure something out with my friend, but as much as you can, limit contact. But be careful. If it wants to speak, play coy. Just imagine you're me. Lie through your pretty teeth.
I'll try.
You see him like look at you with just the softest eyes since you called him your family. And he, in an effort to cheer you up, he pulls out the letter that Kiran wrote him and hands it to you. Look at this nonsense. Look at what your Tarman has wrote me.
She looks through it.
It
sounds like
general campaign for you.
Oh, I already read it.
Okay.
I found it in the group development already. She looks over the letter. It sounds like they love you very much and want you to be safe, but know that you're not going to.
Use the L word.
They should know. Well, they should know that I too love them very much, and I'm not going to give up on them.
That's why we'll do this together.
They're going to get such a stern talking to.
I'm sure there's a reason.
I know.
I don't think he'd be working with any of them if there was a different choice.
I know. Squeezes your hand.
Squeezes back.
As you walk upon this rubble, your feet walking across it, echoing across the expanse. On the red sun, I have pulled the Eternal Mountain. Value of 4, vision, swans, blades, and water. Meanings unchanging, solitude, memory, eternal, and long life. The mountain stands alone and unchanging. It always has, and it always will. Some find this compelling, others terrifying. The mountain sees all and never forgets what it has seen. Eternal Mountain is the location card of the Visions family. Green is enhanced, pale is hindered, and paths get a +1.
Backing up a quick second.
Yeah.
How long was the train ride?
less like between 15 and 30 minutes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Was there something specific you wanted to do?
No, I had an open ephemeral spot. I wanted to know if I could try and get an incantation in that time.
Yeah, it was a very close district to.
Gotcha.
Yep. Sorry.
Yep.
You also have plenty of ephemera.
Yeah, but I also have an empty slot.
You have so much ephemera.
But I have an empty slot.
In your pretty bag.
This is true. But I have an empty slot.
No. I also don't want to pull a card. My
Fair.
shit is on the ground. As you begin to walk into the ruined expanses, it is empty, oppressive, and gloomy. I'm gonna change this. It is oppressive and gloomy, almost cave-like. It feels like you're underground even though you can see the sky, but something is pressing down on you. And it is unsettlingly quiet as you hear the crunch, crunch, crunch of your shoes. There are explosion craters around, empty buildings in various states of destruction and decay. You did get a general address, Lillian, or vague directions, but the street signs are gone. I need someone to make some kind of navigation to figure out where you're going and how long it will take you to get there.
I can give that a shot.
Yes, Hamnah?
Can I cast a spell to help us navigate?
I see no reason why not, and Eleanor does not mind.
No.
So I think if we arrive at the expanses and there are no like street signs anywhere, and like maybe Lillian is like having a hard time trying to figure out like where exactly we need to go, like she has an idea of like, okay, well it's supposed to be down this neighborhood, but everything is absolutely ruined. Roshni kind of steps up and is like, I have an idea. And I am going to weave the aggregates of fire, so movement, and the sea journeys to try and help us, like almost like in a video game where you like ping on a map like where exactly you need to go on a quest, kind of like that, like in their mind, kind of like ping exactly where their journey is trying to get them to go.
And none of those have the absences of the other, right? The two that you said?
Nope.
Okay. How long do you want this to last, and how long would you, what's the longest duration that you have out of the two? Fire and
Fire and the sea, the longest, or so fire and
what?
yeah, fire and the sea, the longest is 1 round.
Mm-hmm.
Default range is near, but I want to try see if I can push that if it is further than near. It doesn't need to last long. Like it can even just be instantaneous as long as I can just get an idea of like where we're supposed to be going.
Are you casting on yourself, or are you going to cast it on Eleanor? Because Eleanor said she would also try and navigate as well.
Let's do Eleanor.
Okay. Since you're going to do it on someone else, Eleanor, I will say if you want to have it as a significant action ongoing, we can say it's 3 sorceries, so Eleanor will get a +1 to their roll for like the next certain amount of time. But if you want to, yeah. How's that sound? Okay. You can spend 3 sorceries in your pool. Eleanor, you'll have a +1 ongoing in terms of navigating the expanses.
Gotcha.
This area pings in your head.
Mm-hmm. So I'm definitely going to spend intellect for this, right? Yeah, so I will spend an intellect from this. I would also like to spend a sortilege and a hidden knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And my hidden knowledge for this will be like Saturnine is like the only place that I've ever called home. Even in the shadow, I was sort of transient. So I don't really remember the war or anything about it, but like I feel like I remember some of the city. It's hazy at best, but I'm trying to conjure back like everything I've ever known about the city in trying to help us navigate. And with the ping from Roshni, I'm trying to be like, okay, what were the streets like back here again? And stuff like that.
So you have a +4 to your venture because the card is in your favor.
Oh, true, yeah. I'll roll my magic die and my regular die. Oh, okay. So on my regular die, I got a 5. On my magic die, I got a 9.
Yeah, how are you guiding everyone?
I'm trying to stick to like major roads because even though everything is like blasted straight to hell, it gives us the, largest sort of panorama view of what's around us. So if there's something sketchy, hopefully we can see it coming. And it keeps us out of enclosed spaces, so we don't get cornered, we don't get surrounded. So I'm just trying to take them through the largest, most, what I remember as well-traveled streets that were here before.
And if I may flavor the feeling that you get, Eleanor, when you're like trying to navigate and trying to figure out where we're going, it's as if there is like a hot rain, like in your head. That's kind of the feeling that you get, and you can tell it feels very similar to like when Roshni has used magic in the past. So you can tell that it's their magic helping you.
Yeah, and for my sortilege, what I will also say is that, like if you stand next to Eleanor, you would almost hear like a ticking sound as her watch starts spinning backwards. And from my perspective, I'm looking around and I'm like almost seeing ghosts of people who walked these streets before.
You walk these streets and you remember what they used to look like. They were filled with so many people and places and things, with the surreal oddities of Saturnine in the city of truth and notions. But it is much different now. Buildings are broken, the streets are destroyed, and in this area there's a lot of vines and plants overgrowing everything to the point where it's just a little bit of a tripping hazard. You need to climb over these roots that are making its way towards Alecto's height, and yet you don't see a tree anywhere that they are connected to. And eventually there is a low fog coming up to your knees as you walk. You are in the right direction and you are not lost. But the city is so much different than what you remember.
All of these roots on our route.
Yes. It is oppressive and it is heavy. And you see nothing. Nothing living. Until you all feel something press upon you. I would like everyone, please, to roll me a withstand check. Alecto, you get a despair because you automatically fail.
Huh?
Oh dear.
What?
How do you
Is
withstand?
withstand like which of the
Physicality.
physicality? Okay.
I'm expending that.
I was about to be like, oh, I have a level in withstand. La-di-da.
No.
Who has benefits from a card right now?
Empaths.
Oh, yeah.
It's always empaths.
I know.
What is
I
it?
Always
swear.
empaths.
I swear I shuffle. I swear.
Okay,
For
I
all
got a
the
6
good
total.
for all the good the card does me, I rolled a 1.
I rolled a 1.
We're doing
7 total.
great, y'all.
6 total.
Sorry, what was Ishmael and Roshni? 6 total, and then...
7.
Okay.
Oh no, why'd you make that noise?
Stop! Don't do that!
I'm choking on my own spit
Would have-
over here.
would-
I'm so nervous.
Wow, that's
Would
very
Umbra would have
apt.
noticed and warned us?
He's...
Umbra knows this neighborhood, right?
So, see, that is a very apt description to what just happened to you and what's happening with Eleanor, Alecto, and Lillian. Ishmael and Roshni, you feel like you're immediately submerged in water, but you are not wet. You do not feel anything, as you feel cold and damp and heavy, as if you are being pulled to the bottom of the ocean. Alecto, Eleanor, and Lillian, you feel nothing is actually happening, but you feel like water is entering your lungs. Alecto, if you don't mind me describing this, your tattoos turn into raindrops and waves of water as you feel your oxygen begin to fade.
Fuck.
Can we visibly see this reaction from the other 3? Like, can Ishmael and I see that the others are suffocating, drowning?
I would say yes, but we are going to enter an action scene. Because this is time sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
Alecto, Lillian, and Eleanor. What you doing? Yeah, also, Alex is correct. You would assume that this is a hate cyst, the effects of a hate cyst.
Sorry, what is that?
A hate cyst is a type of, kind of like a virus that is just throughout the ruined expanses. They are scourges upon the landscape and extremely dangerous, hence why a lot of the city has not been reclaimed. The effects are varied and the effects are different. You will never know what form they take until they appear. Yeah.
Is this an attack?
This is a curse. But it works a little bit differently than how they normally do. What's going to happen is you can make more withstand checks each round. Unless someone decides to help you. Or if you have magic or something along those lines, you can also do that. Umbra, for his part, is whining around you, Lillian, trying to figure out how to help. So we are going to enter an action scene. There is no, there's only going to be a top of the round and everyone else. So it's a free-for-all on who wants to do stuff and wants to go next.
I have questions.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this wouldn't count as a magical effect. Or would it?
It is some kind of magical effect from a hate cyst. Curses
Oh,
are magic.
I could do something, but this would be bad for everybody.
I might have an idea for me.
Feel free to jump in at any point for the rest of y'all.
If I shatter to pieces and reform,
Oh.
because I wouldn't need oxygen, technically, if my entire body shatters.
But it's still you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering if that would work.
I would give you a +1 to your roll, though, if you wanted to try and do that. Because that's a good idea.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just completely, no voice, just shatters from like around the lung area.
Oh no.
Okay, you can add a +1 from your shattering, and you can also add physicality to use to bump yourself up.
Five total.
Just
And that's
missed it.
using a physicality. I rolled a 3.
You take 1 wound.
Ishmael, are you doing your thing or
You're muted.
you're muted?
I'm reading this ephemera that I have, but I don't know if I can use it.
Well, someone else, do you want to send it to me and someone else
Yeah.
can do something?
So Lillian did pretty much exactly what I was planning on doing, except I just gonna do a strictly worse version of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll this check flat, and if I get the rather than spending the physicality up front, if I get the wound, I'll use the physicality to negate it.
Fair, that's fair.
So I can also, to be clear, if I roll this flat, it is possible for me to succeed, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, just
Yeah,
making sure.
It was 6.
7.
You break out of this as if your head is surfacing through the top of water.
Yeah,
if-
so I.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was just like, I just like absolutely stopped and started like just fucking gagging. But after a quick second, I just sort of stumbled forward and right myself taking big gulps of air.
Roshni is going to move immediately to Lillian, and is going to try and stop Lillian from drowning, specifically by casting, combining the aggregate of the sea using life and the aggregate of lust using compulsion to literally compel the life like into her body so that it cannot leave. So I don't know if this necessarily stops her from quote unquote like drowning, but she can't, the idea is she cannot die from this.
I will say if you can beat the level of the effect of the hate cyst, which is 6, she will be pushed out of it.
I have 5 sorcery.
Don't roll a 1. I mean, don't roll a 0.
Okay, I'm gonna use all 5 sorcery. We're here to save
Don't use all
Lillian.
five. Shit, we might
We're
need
here
those.
to. No, we're here. We're doing it. We're using all 5. All right. I rolled a 3, so yeah, you're good.
Lillian, how do you feel?
I think you can feel like it's kind of a weird feeling because I don't think this necessarily stops you from having like the feeling of water in your lungs, but at the same time you feel like in the spaces in between the water, the air has returned into your lungs as well. So it's this like weird sort of opposite feeling of like you can breathe but you can't at the same time.
I think because I just shattered, when you do that, the pieces start coming, like being pulled back faster, but you see oxygen or air like going in between the pieces. And the red, because you did heal me and I have the red glass on me, you see it start spreading through my body more. And so now in my chest, you see more red lines.
Alecto
Okay,
and Ishmael.
So, Mare.
Alecto, you are going to have a harder time in getting this off because
Yep.
they cling to
Yep.
you.
Yep, I figured that I'm gonna keep auto-failing.
No, you're
the
not going to
withstand
auto
check.
You're not going to auto fail. It was just for the first one, but it is going to
Great.
be harder. So instead of 6, it's going to be. I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah, that's fair. I think this happens to Alecto, and their tattoos change. They turn into like the water droplets, and I think they had pushed their mask up once we got into the wastes, so to speak, the ruined expanses, and they were walking in a way someone familiar with a battlefield. I think they're very alert, and a little bit the way that they were in the hollows, like kind of too far on edge. Like they could hear the echoes of memory of explosions in this space, and I think there's just this complete look of horror that comes over their face because they are not in their shop. They don't have any of their stuff, and they do not know where the curse is because it is in their body, and it is also, I assume, not in their body.
Have you ever held a killing curse before?
I think at least once.
Just so you
When
know you
they
never
were- yeah.
wanted to do it again.
Yep. Just to know that and they know what's happening. And I think the first thing they're just going to try to do is cast Counterspell at 3rd level to try to. I assume that this is not like as good, but that's going to be the first thing that what's happening, Val?
Counterspell. Hold on. I hate this. I hate Invisible Sun's version of Counterspell.
I just remembered I had Counterspell this whole time and I forgot to add
Counterspell.
it to my character sheet.
You can cast a counterspell that unravels and dispels one active, ongoing, or magical effect that is level 1 or level 2. The cost for the counterspell is the same as the cost for the original spell, almost always 1 sorcery per level.
I have up to level 3 as well because of my apostate abilities.
This is not a level 3 effect. This is a level 6 effect.
Would
can-
trying to
We can try and roll for it though, because
Yeah,
I think yeah.
I think what they do is there is a like a panic, and I don't think they can speak because it feels like they're full of water, but they're like looking around for something to grab, like an object to put the hate curse in, and I think that they look around, they see a piece of like shattered Lillian, and they consider grabbing it, and then they think better of it. I think like they're a little desperate, and they grab a rock, I think, first, and they fucking throw it because they're not gonna put a curse in a rock. A rock can't hold a curse. And then they grab, I think, off of Roshni's hip, the dagger, their dagger. And kind of similar to the mirror, I know that was scary for you, wasn't it, Hamnah? Similar to the mirror where they kind of like stuck their hand through it. It looks like they don't pierce their hand on the dagger because it goes right through, as they are trying to like grab the curse with the dagger and pull it out of them. That's what I'm trying to do, Mare. Tell me what to roll.
Roll. I got your venture. Roll 2 die. One of them is a magic die.
Do I add anything?
No, you're casting magic, so I've already got you have to spend 3 sorcery.
Yep, will do. That is an 8 and a 5.
Yes.
With an 8 on the magic die.
Yes, you succeed.
Oh my bitch. I think it like is water. Like the tattoo ink actually looks like water, like coming up and like off of their tattoo. Like this like thick black liquid being pulled as they like literally start unstitching this curse out of their tattoo with the dagger, and it's like wrapping around like this like thick black liquid around the hilt of the daggers. They're literally just like unstitching it out of themselves, and there's like this panic on their faces. They're doing it until they like get to the end and they like tear the last thread off. Okay. Is the hate cyst still around though?
You feel vehemence in the air, but its effect is gone.
Alecto's just fucking standing there. I think like white knuckle clenching the dagger that now is wrapped in hate cyst curse. Did I succeed at putting the hate cyst into the dagger?
Not the hate cyst, just the curse.
Okay. You have an extremely cursed dagger now.
Thank you.
How's everyone feeling?
I'm glad we didn't have to do what I was planning.
Oh,
I'll be real. That was real bad. Mare saw. That was real bad.
It would have been great.
I want to know desperately.
We can tell you later.
I can tell you later, but it would have been real bad. You see Ishmael like hand stuffed in a pocket about to pull something, and breathes a sigh of relief that he didn't have to, and he kind of just looks around. We better not linger. Let us go.
Yeah, without a word, Lillian just starts going.
Big same.
Yeah, I
She
think
does stop
Roshni-
for a second and like grabs Roshni's hand and squeezes it as like a thank you, kind of like, I don't know, centering her, whatever.
Roshni squeezes Lillian's hand back, and I think they probably like felt the dagger like leave the hilt on their hip, and so they like kind of like whipped around to look at like what Alecto was doing, and probably like just saw the whole thing happen. And like as soon as they were done, like Roshni would have felt like immediately like that feeling go away and like realize what happened, and they just kind of, I think, just silently, like wordlessly take the dagger back and put it back.
Oh no.
No?
No. If Roshni goes to reach for the dagger, Alecto pulls it up. I'm so sorry. And they forgot that they had their own dagger with them. Because they're gay. And they unsheath that one and hand it hilt first toward Roshni.
That one's yours.
It's yours now. I said I was
Wait, you
going to
don't
get you a
trust
gift.
me with it?
Roshni, this is a killing curse.
Isn't it more dangerous if it's with you?
It's in the object now.
And you can keep it there? Fine. The other one then.
I promised I was going to get you a gift, right?
Don't think this necessarily counts, but...
No, let's hurry.
Eleanor, you are able to lead the group towards this destination, this address that Lillian was given through this old decrepit street of an old district that no longer has a name. And eventually you come and find a building with the second floor completely crumbled in. The first floor seems to have rubble everywhere, but it's still standing. The door is kicked open. It is empty, of people at least. It is quiet again and oppressive. Vines crawl inside this home. Lillian, it seems familiar.
As soon as they get there, Lillian and Umbra just start walking through it as if they know where they are.
Umbra is several paces ahead of you. It looks like he knows where he's going.
I'm just following Umbra. But also I feel like Lillian knows where she's going as well.
The five of you enter this home. There are bookshelves with books strewn all over the floor. A couple rooms. Looks like an old kitchen. A small bedroom with only a very small full-size bed. A back room with a permanent summoning circle now broken on the stone floor. I've pulled the next card, which is very apt for this. On the gold sun, I have pulled the ghostly presence. Value of 7, mysteries, rats, mirrors, and stones. Meanings, the past, guilt, unresolved issues. We all have our ghosts. They haunt us, both metaphorically and of course literally. We can become weighed down by our past sins, our unrequited feelings, our unresolved issues. As humans, we crave closure, but is such a thing ever truly possible? The ghostly presence suggests that it is not. There's always something from our past that will arise later to remind us of the wrongs of long ago. Pale magic is enhanced and green is hindered. Stoics get a +1. What do the five of you do? Entering upon this broken home.
Is there an office, like an office room? That's, I think, where Lillian would be headed.
Ishmael, Roshni, Alecto, and Eleanor, are you doing anything while Lillian heads back to a back room?
I think Roshni is just following Lillian, knowing that this is her parents' place and that she would know where to go.
Pretty much
Ishmael
same.
takes. Sorry. Ishmael takes a moment, kind of like saddling past Alecto, looking at them, asking a question with his eyes.
I hate killing curses.
He reaches out a hand asking permission. Touches your arm where your tattoos were as he saw the droplets once before, and he gently caresses it. I'm glad you are here with me. Still. He kind of sees that Lillian has headed towards the office. Lillian needs me right now.
Go. It's gonna take a little bit more than that to kill me.
You promise?
Promise.
He his hand traces all the way down to your palms as he holds it up, as if asking you to dance, and then walks away.
And I think Alecto has that very gay moment, and then I think is watching is slowly following everyone through the house, but is specifically guarding the doors.
And then Eleanor, you said you were also following Lillian?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Lillian, can you make me one type of search check for me?
Yep. Seven. Is that intellect? Or...
Yeah, it would have been intellect, yeah.
Just go 7.
This back office is only one desk. There is one small bookshelf. It is broken with books on the ground. A lot of handwritten notes. The first thing that catches your eye, though, on the ground, beneath some rubble, partially covered, a photograph of a young you and your parents. But you find some notebooks handwritten in both your mother and father's handwriting.
Instantly pocket the picture and start just going through the notebooks. She's full on like panic researching right now.
Okay. You'll have to do a little bit of more in-depth research on how they came to this conclusion and what they were doing. But the main gist of the work that your parents were doing was research on how to better the colloquy between specifically demons and summoners, and helping King Nine with essentially what boiled down to as revenge against his sister, because there is a brief detailing about what this is. You're aware of pacts and patrons. The long and short of it is she took an opportunity from him, and he can no longer make a pact with a demon patron. And he has held a grudge. So the goal is to try and either win that patron back or take down his sister. The best bargaining tool with demons, however, are souls. Demons do not have souls. They do not feel. They cannot cast magic. And that is the one thing they crave the most. There was a brief period where your parents did go along with this before they grew a conscience and decided to turn around. And shortly, in terms of dates with the date that matches Ishmael's last entry from Kirin is shortly before it was assumed that you and Kirin went off to the shadow.
I'm guessing there's no name of this patron written down. That would just be too easy.
There is actually.
Yeah, sorry. I got excited.
It's assumingly not the real name, because fools give out their real name because then they can be summoned. But the name of the entity that Galal, King Nine, was stolen from, I'm going to write this down, Merzer Sorath. I will put it in chat for all y'all just for spelling sakes. Which is just described as a powerful demon of the red. And that is the long and short of it.
I think this whole time Lillian has been kind of reading this out loud because Ishmael's there and like going back and forth. And when she gets to the part about the soul, she's just going to look up at Roshni. The camera to hold. And then look back down.
Do you say
Alecto
this out loud?
also...
Sorry.
Yeah, everything she...
Alecto also is looking at Roshni, but for a different reason. It's not an assumedly gay reason.
Is
But
it
they
not?
look... Well, it's a
What?
little gay. You know what? I'm just muting myself again.
What about the camera, Lillian?
The camera shows things, extra things, like the soul of a person or the colors of a person. And not everyone has those here.
I'm not
And
sure
then
what
she's
you're implying
Going
here,
to look
Lillian.
at Roshni again. Did you?
I don't appreciate the implication that I would have been involved in this.
Was it against your will?
Lillian, I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe your camera malfunctioned, or...
You keep saying you don't know. You keep saying you don't know. You have to know something. It can't all be in my head. You keep saying you don't remember.
Roshni, there is a truth to this camera, a power to this camera. I know that for a fact. Not only I, but other people who are not immediately affiliated with us. So if there's anything you know, please do share.
The matter of what I know and what has happened to me has nothing to do with King 9.
You know secrets. You've made deals. You know all of them.
The secrets that I know with the people involved here, and Roshni looks at Ishmael in particular, they don't have to do with this plot. They're personal in nature.
Lillian's gonna turn to Ishmael. Would there be a way of doing it without someone knowing?
Would
Take
I know?
someone like that from someone.
Would I know something like that?
Well, Alecto raises their hand with the hand armor on it.
Is that what it does?
Yeah. That's what it does.
Roshni looks at Ishmael, just sighs. A permanent death. That's what I told you, right?
I'm piecing it together in my head. We will talk later on that. And you see him kind of like lean closer towards the shattered summoning circle. Does it look similar to that of the house, whatever pieces are left?
Yeah, like a normal one that you would do, a protective circle.
Oh, okay.
And then Lillian starts tearing through the books again, just looking for anything else. It's like desperate for information.
And there's 3 of these.
One with Avelia. One with Alecto.
And one presumably with them, perhaps. I'd rather bet that it's with them than draw blanks.
Yeah, for now, I think that's the most likely conclusion we can come to.
They weren't wearing one when I saw them.
If you have someone who calls themselves King 9, wouldn't the king hold a weapon?
We still don't know anything about our precious red dot item that Kirin is supposed to go get. It could very well be another. Although I doubt they'd let 3 slip out of their fingers.
Why would he be working with them now? After everything.
I know they don't want to. I know that they don't want to. I don't know what they're dangling over their head. I assumed it might have been your parents or something, or their whereabouts, or you and your memories.
Who didn't? Roshni, who wasn't wearing one when you met them?
Kieran. I thought I told you all before. I met Kirin a while ago.
And how long is a while ago? Care to be more specific?
A week, maybe 2.
Very generous use of the word a while.
Ishmael, I couldn't meet them with you knowing. You have to understand, it would have compromised.
You and I are allies. You
Are we?
know my goal.
Yes, and I have not strayed from that goal, Ishmael.
So what was your meeting about, pray tell?
Information.
Such as?
That which I relayed to you, if you recall, in Lillian's office. I told you that Kirin was not doing this of their own accord, that they were being threatened by someone else.
Threatened by whom?
At the time I didn't know. Now we know it's Avelia.
Roshni, please understand something for me. I am not trying to be antagonistic, but surely you too can appreciate sitting here, hearing this, knowing what I know, and he looks you dead in the eye at you. Can you blame me for thinking this way?
Ishmael, be careful with your words. You have me as an ally, and I told you you do not want me as anything else.
An ally that keeps an object that utters a secret only once Eleanor has spoken it. Yes, I remember that day.
That information would have been used in a different way if Eleanor had not told it to everyone.
What different way?
You all work out in the open. That is your mistake. We're dealing with something much larger here. It's important to be discreet.
Mistake.
And if you...
Mistake? Roshni, are you fucking kidding me? We all walked from the brick house district to the middle of the ruined expanses, past a hate cyst, and thank every deity that is left in Saturnine that was the only thing we found. We all got here, and we couldn't do the least. We couldn't just share information, tell everybody what we know. Mistake!
Eleanor, I deal in secrets. I cannot simply share everything that I know.
Maybe share everything that is relevant to the people risking their lives to get out here.
You're not the only one risking your life for everything that we're doing here, Eleanor.
No, I'm not. But you are the only one here keeping secrets from the rest of us that are relevant to what we're doing out here.
I somehow doubt that, Eleanor.
Doubt away.
Believe me or don't, and Roshni looks at the group. But the secrets that I keep, I do not keep to hurt any of you.
What do you keep them for?
To protect you and the people, looking at Ishmael, that you love.
But you advise us working with people who want to hurt them. At which point, Lillian will then kind of give a brief summary of the letter to everyone about who the boss is.
Can we actually get C needs a brief recap. There were a lot of names, and I was like, "Who are these people?" What? Can I get a brief recap?
Do you want me to just read the applicable part of the letter to everyone?
Yeah.
The applicable part to the letter involves a man named Galal Asra, who has a vendetta with his sister. We met him through the Order and quickly became friends with his youngest Kirin. To help Galal with his sister and the theft that she did, we Goetics did what we do best, seek the help of summoned things. We wanted to improve the colloquy between summoner and entity to make it collaborative, pay them and increase their power since they were technically doing a job for us. And then there's eventually a disagreement and in the solution that would help Galal, so they began to pull away. I'll put the full letter in chat for all of y'all.
I can do that too. I actually have it. I have it open right here.
Okay. But yeah. Don't mind me wishing I had tea to sip on.
Sometimes the enemy. Oh no. Sometimes the friend of your enemy. Fuck. I don't know how this one works.
Everyone is an enemy. And
So let us not make enemies of each other, Lillian.
I don't want that.
I'm sorry, was Lillian the one who trespassed here? Has Lillian done anything wrong?
No, but Lillian doesn't know. I trust Roshni. I do. And I trust you too, Eleanor. And I trust you, Ishmael, and you, Lillian. We all have secrets. We all have things about ourselves we don't know.
Roshni, I'm not. It's not that I don't trust you. I do. You've been with me. You've been there since I've been back. I worry that something is happening to you that you don't know, and I'm scared for you. And I'm scared that you're gonna go off and we're not gonna be able to find you again or help you. And I'm scared that you might actually be missing a part of yourself.
Talk about trust. Lillian, how long have we been friends? How long have I protected you, been here for you? Trust. And Roshni goes into their satchel and pulls out an object. This one looks like a serpent scale that is shifting colors constantly between blue and gold. And they walk up to Ishmael, like right up to you, like inches away from you. They take it in their hands and they snap it.
Oh shit.
Fuck.
Okay.
And everyone in the room can hear, like in your head, in Kirin's voice, I am in love with my best friend. That is the secret I was keeping. And I think at that, Roshni steps back and walks out of the office.
You see Ishmael give the wryest smile. Not what I was most concerned about, but okay.
Lillian's gonna look at Alecto. I'm worried about Roshni.
Alecto leans down, and I think similarly to this morning, cups the side of Lillian's face. We take care of each other, Lillian. Find what you need to find, and don't leave this room. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Lillian, may I see your camera?
Of course. She rubs through her bag and pulls out the.
Can I attempt to identify the object, specifically find out what it does?
Yes.
Very, just as, yeah. I want to know exactly what this bitch does.
Sure.
All right. So let's see. I don't have any skill.
In this case,
With-
your identifying a material will help here.
Okay, so yeah, I will give 1 for identifying a material. Don't have anyone with me that I could leverage connections. I'm going to use an intellect, a hidden knowledge, and a soul edge.
Okay. +3 eventually.
Is there any chance I can help? Because my camera knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's +4, 2 die. 2 8s.
Yeah. You know what this does.
All right, what does this
2
do?
item reveals in 1 session. Hell yeah. Okay. I'm glad I wrote everything in Obsidian. The camera isn't special. It's the
Okay.
lens, which is tinted
Ooh.
blue.
Fancy.
Yeah, the lens is tinted blue. And I'm assuming you're like doing a little bit of testing and everything.
Yes,
like that.
yeah, absolutely. As long as Lillian doesn't mind, I will ask before I start clicking shit.
She's gonna let you have. You can do whatever you want to it.
So the first thing you notice is that there are these auras around people. Roshni left the room, but Roshni would not have had an aura, but everyone else does, and the auras that I previously described. Lillian, yours
Yeah.
is blue with a little hint of red, and like kind of like they look like
Aw.
electricity, like as if it were broken glass without glass. It can see the souls of people.
Okay.
However, when you do a little click, you also can tell that a little bit of the aura and soul is diminished in the person you took a photo of. A
So
smidge.
it captures.
Mm-hmm.
So in theory, you could stand in a very well-lit public place with a bunch of people around, take a bunch of photos, and capture maybe 1 soul's worth of people, just a smidge from 100 people.
Correct.
Right. Okay.
Has Lillian been taking people's souls? She's been taking everybody's picture.
Mm-hmm.
Lillian, how familiar are you with what this does?
It's a camera. It takes photos.
It does that. You're correct. Did you have any idea that it was magic?
Recently, yes.
Okay. The aura that you see around somebody whenever you take a photo, and that is their soul, for lack of a better word. When you take a picture, you capture some of that. And you therefore diminish the person you photograph.
Well,
And you
shit.
see, like, she starts panicking. Where does it go? Can I get it back? Can I let it go?
To my knowledge, it's stored inside the camera. What happens after you develop the film, I don't know. I would have to look at your development process to be able to tell you what happens after you start removing the film and developing photos.
I have photos of all of us.
Then perhaps you have little pieces of all of us.
Lillian, you could not have known.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean.
Yeah. Lillian, you have nothing to apologize for.
We'll find a way to get the pieces back.
What does Roshni look like in this camera?
There's nothing. It's just Roshni.
But that would mean
Have you ever photographed a demon with this?
Yes.
What did it look like?
Mara, can you remind me that what it was?
It was the water
was-
demon you summoned.
Yeah.
It looked like a water demon.
Yeah.
Did it have
had-
any aura?
No. No, it did not. Just that's when I started worrying about Roshni. Roshni's never had an aura.
Wait. If what you are saying is true, and I don't doubt it, Eleanor, that would mean. Oh, God.
Roshni has no soul, as it were.
You see him like slap his lap.
We have to find it and get it back for them.
If it still exists, yes.
If they're
Oh,
collecting them to make something bigger, there's got to be a place they're keeping them.
Or something they're feeding them to. In theory, I suppose this is a more humane way to collect souls for goetics. You could stand in a public place, a tall tower, photograph a busy street, and collect a soul's worth of energy, so to speak.
but
Feed
this
it to a
entity,
demon.
your parents were familiar. They met this entity before. If King Nine's patron is potentially a different entity entirely, what's this one's end game?
If it's a
In the
demon,
letter, they said they didn't know.
If it's working independently of all this,
if it's a demon, I think the only thing we can reasonably assume is that it wants souls. What for, aside from just the experience of
It said its name was Ilford. I don't.
yes.
That's all I know. It
Ishmael,
wanted me to
there's
take
a-
more photos. That's it.
I hope you'll forgive me for my lack of knowledge regarding your order. The Hall of Records, are there actual records kept there?
Yes, there are.
There
But
are chances we could collect some information. regarding-
potentially. But I'm very concerned about this entity as well, and I have a contact to reach out to about that as well. Next week is going to be a very, very busy one.
Because next week is also the gallery.
Oh, fuck.
Busy week. And you see Ishmael look to both Lillian and Eleanor. We may have inadvertently struck a very painful personal spot for Roshni.
May have seems a bit of an understatement, but I agree.
Everything makes sense now. Ishmael will look at Lillian once more and be like, "You asked fair questions. Please don't blame yourself. All right.
I just want Roshni to be okay.
I think the best person to see Roshni right now is already going to go and see them."
Are we okay to go over? I know we're late already, but okay. Okay. Continue. Roshni, you have stormed out.
Yeah, Roshni doesn't know where they're going. They don't know this area at all. They've never been here before. They're not really even thinking about it. They are very singular-mindedly like, walking out of the office, walking out of this area, and just going in a random direction, honestly. Like, I'm honestly just kind of pacing back and forth. And as they're walking, you can see, like, on the ground, there's, like, sparks flying out where their feet are, and it's just kind of, like, sparking out. And, like, in some areas, there's, like, little fires starting to catch as they're sort of, like, walking around.
And it takes Alecto a second, I think, to find Roshni if they just like go out. But I think there's this like low, constant hum from their bag that I think is still like reverberating that secret in a weird way around Roshni that Alecto can maybe like pick out. But they walk completely silently. I think it would be very funny if they came up to Roshni, they like if they're pacing, they turn and they bump into them again. Easy there.
Oh,
Gonna burn a
fuck.
hole in the floor.
Sorry. What are you doing here?
What do you mean? What am I doing here?
I would figure that you would have stayed with the others.
I said that we should never be alone.
No, I suppose not. But
And I wanted to come see you. To make sure you were okay.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
It doesn't really seem like whether or not I'm okay what I want really matters to anyone right now, does it?
It matters to me.
Why should it matter to you?
And Alecto gets this odd look on their face. Because I trust you. And because when I needed you, you were there. Because you cleaned the blood off my lip. And because you offered me silence when I needed it.
Why do you still trust me?
Because I felt it. The empty. And because of your poem, I think. You're not a demon, Roshni, you're a person. Even though you think you're empty.
I'm not so sure about that anymore, Alecto. It's been a long time that I've been like this. And the longer that I go, the more I fear that there's only so long before the thread snaps, I think. And I don't know how long that is. And that's why that's why I do what I do.
I always wondered why, when everyone else got to have beautiful little boring lives in shadow, I got sent to a war zone. I cut people down with a blade. I lived in fear. I watched people that I loved die again and again and again. And I'm not going to let that happen here again. I can't. And they go to unclip the hand armor. And they take it off. And they hand it to Roshni.
Roshni is, I think, stunned as you do that. And they just kind of like you maybe place the hand armor on their hand and they're just kind of like staring at it for a while. And then they look back up at you. At least you can feel something, Alecto. Even after seeing what you've seen, the horror, all of it, at least you can still feel something. I can't even be properly angry right now. I can't even, when I look at you, I can't even. At least you have that.
Maybe. But it hurts to have. I envy you sometimes. I know I shouldn't, not with how much it hurts you. But I can't help it.
And I think Roshni will, like, with their other hand that doesn't have the hand armor, go to, like, very, like, sort of tentative, like, hesitatingly, go to, like, hold Alecto's hand in theirs. If they will let them.
Oh my god, I am thinking.
Do I need to pull a card?
Yes, please do.
I would like to I pulled this card, and I was going to say at the end of the session regardless, because I think it is a beautiful card for everything that is going on right now, and the tensions and the emotions that are going on. The card I have pulled on the invisible sun is the Weeping Priest. Meanings betrayal, weakness, turnabout, disillusionment, and loss.
Roshni, the second that your fingers brush Alecto's, there is a brief moment before they snatch their hand away as fast as they possibly can, that you feel like the life is getting pulled out of your body.
I think at that feeling, Roshni like jerks their hand back, like instinctively, just because they're feeling this odd sensation. And they look up at Alecto with a question on their face.
And Alecto looks fucking horrified. They look down at their hand in panic, which I think is starting to shake, right? And the tattoo is kind of like a Ghibli, you know, like when they're it runs through them, it like pulses through them. And they look at their hand, and then they look up at Roshni. And they shake their head and start backing away. I can't.
I'm sorry. What was that? Is that still the
No, don't come near me.
What?
Take that. Do whatever the fuck you want with your life. Feel everything you want to feel. Use it. Do whatever you want with it. Whatever
Alecto,
gets you what you want with it.
Alecto, you can have it back. I don't.
No. At any time that Roshni comes closer, Alecto takes like 2 steps further away.
Alecto, I don't understand what. You said
I
you
just-
you said you trusted me, right?
I do trust you. I don't trust myself.
I don't understand. Trust yourself to do what?
To not kill you, Roshni. Because I feel too much. And they turn and head back up the stairs.
If that's okay, I think that's a good place to leave it. Okay. Hey everybody, that was session 8, our first session of 2022 of the Soul's Confidant. A lot went down, more than I thought was going to. I'm not complaining, but wow. So yeah, let's quickly go around, say who we are, where we can find us, and then whether you get a joy, despair, or and stuff, all that fun stuff. Who would like to go first?
I guess I'll go. Yes, hello everyone. My name is Hamnah. I use any and all pronouns. I am a TTRPG performer. Dear Lord. Today I was Roshni, who uses they, them pronouns. Roshni gets a despair for today. There's no question about it. We're not even gonna pretend this was a nice day for them. Oh my god, my hands are actually shaking. What else do I need to do? Arc. Yes. Oh, hell yes. I very much progressed my arc.
Like, holy shit.
Yep. Other than that, you can find me on Twitter at @shahid_, where I talk about all of the different projects that I'm a part of. If you like the queer disaster that is Roshni, you will like all of my characters, because they're all queer disasters of different varieties. So definitely follow me on Twitter, and you can see more of this nonsense. And I will pass it along to whoever wants to go next.
I can go next. Hi everybody. My name is Alex. You can find me on Twitter at PhoenixAxolotl. Let's see. Gosh. Arcs, I have no idea. I genuinely have no idea. I will defer to your wisdom on this one.
I think your first one, yes.
First one, yes. Yeah,
You
second
fucking
one, not.
blew.
I did. I had feelings. So, first one, yes. Definitely a despair for this session overall. Eleanor did not have a great time.
Fair.
And let's see, favorite moment. I don't know if this is like a proximity effect thing, like primacy, whatever. I really like that ending scene where between Roshni and Alecto, specifically the tension that was in the last half of that. That was pretty spicy, and I enjoyed it.
I can go next. Hi everyone, my name is Valiant. I use he, him, his pronouns. I am a Twitch variety streamer as well as a TTRPG performer. You can find me at Valiant or at OxySpiritBear on the internet. And I play Ishmael, who uses he, they pronouns. I think he advanced his arc today, maybe? I don't know. I'll defer to Mare on this because...
Yes, because it's all starting to
Yes.
weave together.
That's kind of what I'm saying. It's not specifically the arc, but it's the mystery surrounding the arc. So
Yeah.
So I think he does get an acumen for that. I think this is a despair overall. Like, yes, he progressed some things, but this is not how he wanted things to pan out at all. And he has a lot of feelings. It's rough. It sure is rough.
That leaves me. I'm April. I play Lillian. We are both she, her. You can find me everywhere as April Raygun. Follow me on Twitter if you want to know where I'm going to be. There's a lot of places. Shit. Despair. Everyone. Round of despair for everyone. I mean, yes, I advanced my storyline, but at what cost? Yeah. At what cost? So yeah.
All right, y'all. Hi, my name is C. I use they, them pronouns. I'm a dancer, digital artist, tabletop streamer. I am also the co-producer for Transplanar RPG, which, if you don't know already, is an all-transgender person of color-led 100% homebrew D&D 5th edition actual play live stream that streams every Saturday at now 7 p.m. U.S. Central Time. We are coming back from our mini winter hiatus with our arc 4 interlude episode, which features all 8 of our new cast members having a beautiful potluck episode. I promise it's fine. Oka doesn't ruin dinner. It's fine. Everything's fine.
I'm gonna call bullshit right now.
Stop it, Mayor. So tune in at Saturday at 7 p.m. to check that out. You can also find me making very trans, very gay art on the internet at Pie Sharp Art. Poor Alecto. Oh man, I was gonna be like, oh, I think they kind of weirdly got a joy for today, but then you hit them with a killing curse, and then we hit that part of everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a despair, round of despair for everyone. Good job. Double despair you gave me today, and I think I did indeed progress my arc, although maybe in the backwards direction.
It's a weird.
Well,
it's weird.
At first, the first half, maybe the first 75%, I feel like they did progress their arc, and then they took like 8 steps backwards in the last 2 minutes. So,
hello.
You're welcome.
Hello.
Hi. And
You're
hello,
welcome.
everyone. I'm Mare. You can find me on Twitter at Archmage of Dice. This is my only streamed campaign right now that I am running. I have something in the works. Please keep an eye on my Twitter about that. The channel is bringing all their shows back this month, towards the end of the month. So starting with us, hurrah! Starting next Monday on the 17th, The Mind of the Martyr comes back at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We've got episodes 5 and 6 of Hyperlight Drifter, which was GM'd by Nomadic on Twitter. And so that's the 21st and the 28th. And the premiere of the Urban Shadows game is on the 26th, which is a Wednesday. I gotta double check the time. I think it's 8 o'clock. Don't quote me on that. And there's no game session next week, but instead we will be having the Fighting Through Grief Alecto development side scene, which will be airing at normal time. I don't know, my favorite part was I've been waiting to throw a killing curse at Alecto before the campaign even started. That's all I gotta say.
Stress.
Am I missing anything else? Okay, so what we're gonna do is we are going to go raid Cutest Patoot, aka the Brandy Rose, on Twitter. They are doing some TTRPG designing, so everybody go give her some love in chat, please, and we will see you soon. Bye.